right, I would like to call the Prince William County School Board to order. 1.01, approval of agenda. Vice Chair Jesse.
I move that the Prince William County School Board approve the meeting agenda as recommended.
Do I have a second?
Mr. Chairman,
Mrs. Zargarpur.
I second.
Any discussion? Please vote. All in favor indicate by raising your hands. Any opposed? No opposition.
Vote is 6 yes, 2 not present at vote. Williams, Tredinick, motion passed.
Motion to enter closed session. Vice Chair Jesse.
That pursuant to Virginia Code 2.2-3711 and 2.2-3712, the Prince William County School Board enter closed sessions for the following reasons. 1, to discuss with the staff the assignment, appointment, and promotion, performance, demotion, salary, discipline, or resignation of specific public officers, appointees, or employees of any public body pursuant to Section 2.2-3711, A1 of the Code of Virginia. 2, to review the grievances appeal of employees T26-002 pursuant to Section 2.2-3711, A1 and 8 of the Code of Virginia. 3, to discuss and consult with the legal counsel regarding requests for religious exemption pertaining to a specific student under Section 2.2-3711A of the Code of Virginia. And 4, to discuss with the division counsel and staff actual or probable litigation and specific legal matters pertaining to collective bargaining, staff, students, and other civil litigation, including the school division under Section 2.2-3711, A7 and 8 of the Code of Virginia. And 5, to discuss and receive briefing by staff members related to the security of the school facility, the safety of persons using such facilities, and action taken to respond to such matters were discussed in an open meeting which jeopardized the security of such facilities pursuant to Section 2.2-3711A19 of Code of Virginia.
Do I have a second?
Mr. Chairman,
Ms. Zargarpur.
I second.
Any discussion? Please vote. All in favor, raise your hand.
Vote is 6 yes, 2 not present at vote. Tredinick, Williams, motion passed.
At this time, the Prince William County School Board will enter closed session and return in approximately 1 hour. Prince William County School Board is now returning to open session from closed session. We have a closed session certification motion, 8.01. Vice Chair Jesse.
I move that pursuant to Section 2.2-3712 of the Code of Virginia, the closed session of the Prince William County School Board meeting of March 18, 2026 be certified by adopting the following resolution. Now therefore be it resolved that the Prince William County School Board hereby certify that to the best of each member's knowledge, 1, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements were discussed in closed session meeting to which this certification resolution applies, and 2, only such public business matters as were identified in the motion convening the closed meeting were heard and discussed or considered by the school board.
Do I have a second?
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Blake. Seconds. Any discussion? Please vote.
Vote is 8 yes, unanimous, motion passed.
Moving on to closed session action items, appointments and releases, motions in order. Vice Chair Blake, or Vice Chair Jesse.
It's a good-looking one.
Yeah.
I move that Prince William County School Board approves the appointments and releases of the specific employees as presented in the closed session.
Do I have a second?
Mr. Chairman,
Ms. Zargarpur.
I second.
Any discussion? Please vote.
Vote is 8 yes, unanimous, motion passed.
Next up is 9.02, grievance appeal for employee T26002, action. Vice Chair Jesse.
I move that the Prince William County School Board uphold the superintendent's recommendations of dismissal in employee's case number T26-002, and further that the chairman at large is authorized to provide a written decision to the employees reflecting the school board decision.
Do I have a second?
Mr. Chairman.
Ms. Williams.
Oh, second.
Any discussion? Please vote.
Vote is 8 yes, unanimous, motion passed.
Moving on to request for religious exemption. Vice Chair Jesse.
I move that the Prince William County School Board approves the request for religious exemption from compulsory school attendance for case number RE 25-20.
Do I have a second?
Mr. Chairman.
Ms. Wald.
I second.
Any discussion? Please vote.
Vote is 8 yes, unanimous, motion passed.
Up next, legal counsel's legal recommendation. Vice Chair Jesse.
I move that the Prince William County School Board authorize the actions recommended by the legal counsel as discussed in closed session.
Do I have a second?
Mr. Chairman.
Ms. Williams.
I second.
Any discussion? Please vote.
Vote is 8 yes, unanimous, motion passed.
Next up is the Pledge of Allegiance, and we have Ms. Beulah Sarsa, our student representative this evening. Ms. Sarsa, please lead us in the pledge. Thank you, Ms. Sarsa. Up next is Thriving Futures Focus, and that, folks, is the time of the evening where we have our opportunity to highlight the exemplary work being accomplished in our schools that fulfill our vision that every student will graduate on time with the knowledge, skills, and habits of mind necessary to create a thriving futures for themselves and their community. We dedicate this time during our meetings to recognizing students, staff members, and schools that have earned an honor award at the state or the national level. Tonight, the school board is honored to acknowledge our National Writing Contest winners, National Merit finalists, and nominated presidential scholars. I invite Ms. Erica Tredenick of the Brentsville District to introduce and acknowledge our first group of honorees. Ms. Tredenick.
Thank you, Dr. Lateef. Tonight, the Brentsville District is proud to recognize 2 Unity Reed High School students who earned first place honors in a national writing contest focused on bilingual identity, outperforming competitors from across the United States, including college students, during the 13th National Symposium on Spanish as a Heritage Language. The National Student Writing Contest was hosted by the Spanish Heritage Language Program at Florida State University in partnership with Texas Tech University and included 3 categories: poetry, essay, and fiction. Across all 3 categories nationwide, Unity Reed High School students won 2 first-place awards. 11th grade student Ashlyn Hernandez Gill won first place in the fiction category, and 9th grade student Steven Cesenia Diaz earned first place in the essay category. Ashlyn and Steven are supported this evening by Principal Millie Polanco, Administrative Intern Carrie Druin, who is overseeing world languages Spanish teachers Oscar Pizarro and Luis Ortiz Perez, and our students' families. At this time, I would like to ask Ashlyn to speak about this accomplishment, followed by Stephen.
Hi. Oh, hi, thank you so much for this. I feel really proud of myself, and I want to say thank you for my teachers and the principal for let us participate in this. Thank you.
Stephen?
Hello, everyone. I want to say first thank you for this recognition. It means a lot to me, my family, and everybody that supports me every day. Being bilingual has helped me adapt and evolve my way through in this country, and I feel more comfortable in this country being bilingual, and I appreciate the hard work of my parents that work hard to give me and my siblings a better future and a good life. I also appreciate being part of the Spanish for Fluent Speakers program because it has helped me a lot along my high school journey. Thank you very much.
Outstanding. Thank you, Mr. Denick. Please continue with our National Merit finalists.
Thank you, Dr. Lateef. The National Merit Scholarship Program is an annual academic competition among high school students for recognition in college undergraduate scholarships that began in 1955. U.S. high school students enter the National Merit Scholarship Program by taking the preliminary SAT and National Merit Scholarship qualifying test. Out of 1.3 million seniors screened for the program, only 15,000 high school seniors from across the nation are selected as finalists based on their high academic performance and great potential for future academic accomplishments. The Brentsville District wishes to recognize Luke Pomfret of Patriot High School, who is supported tonight by Principal David Van Gelder and Luke's family. I understand that Luke has graciously declined the opportunity to speak.
But we can still clap.
Yes.
Congratulations, Luke. Ms. Jen Wall of the Gainesville District, please introduce our next group of honorees.
Thank you, Dr. Lateef. The Gainesville District is proud to recognize Luke Davis and Alexander Gushi, both from Battlefield High School, and supported tonight by Principal Dolores Lucas. Over here, there she is, the proud principal of Battlefield High School. I also wish to recognize Benjamin Fu, sorry, is this out of order? Of Gainesville High School for his recognition as a National Merit Finalist. Unfortunately, Ben could not be here tonight as he was already committed elsewhere, but I understand that Luke has graciously declined an offer to speak, but Alexander would like to say a few words.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for inviting me here to speak with you tonight. My name is Alex Gushi, and I'm honored to stand before you as a National Merit Finalist. I want to acknowledge that this accomplishment would not have been possible without the unyielding support of Prince William County Public Schools. I also want to take this minute to thank and acknowledge my parents, my teachers, and my school staff for constantly providing me with the support I need to succeed. As I step into the next chapter of my life, I won't forget what I've learned, and I won't forget what you've all done for me. Once again, thank you very much for inviting me here, and I hope you have a nice evening.
Thank you, Alexander, for your kind words, and congratulations to both of you. I would like to call Ms. Lisa Zargapur of the Coles District to introduce her National Merit finalist.
Thank you, Ms. Wall. The Coles District wishes to recognize Julianne Lim of Charles J. Colgan High School, supported tonight by Assistant Principal Dr. David Parrish and Julianne's family. I would like to ask if Julianne would like to share a few words on your outstanding achievement this evening.
Good evening, everyone. I am truly honored to be recognized as a National Merit Finalist. First, I would like to thank my parents for their constant support and for always encouraging me to do my best. And I would also like to thank my teachers for supporting my education and teaching me what I need to know in order to be successful. I am extremely grateful for the opportunities that this title has given me, and I'm even more grateful for everyone who has helped me reach this point.
Thank you and congratulations. I also wish to recognize Rebecca Clark of C.D. Hilton High School. Unfortunately, Rebecca could not attend tonight as she has a choir assessment, and I have no doubt that she will excel in that.
Thank you, Ms. Argapur. Congratulations to you all. I'll bring Ms. Argapur back up to introduce students who've been recognized as Virginia nominees for the 2026 U.S. Presidential Scholars Program.
Thank
Ms.
you, Dr.
Argapur.
Lateef. Each year, up to 161 students from across the nation are selected as nominees for the U.S. Presidential Scholars Program. Students are recognized for their academic excellence, leadership abilities, and meaningful contributions to their communities. U.S. presidential scholars are honored during the online National Recognition Program in June, where they receive a Presidential Scholar Medallion in recognition of their achievements. First, I wish to acknowledge Isabella Carneiro of Osborne Park High School, who has been named a Virginia nominee for the 2026 Presidential Scholars Program in Career and Technical Education. Isabella is represented tonight by Principal Lisa Marie Kane and Isabella's family. At this time, I would like to ask Isabella to share a few words about her outstanding achievement.
It's truly an honor to be nominated as a Presidential Scholar in Career and Technical Education, especially because I've had the opportunity to experience it in multiple ways. I began my high school journey in biomedical sciences classes, and I'm ending it in the Teachers for Tomorrow program. CTE has introduced me into the world of education, one that is often overlooked, but now I have the confidence and support to truly pursue it. I also want to shout out the people who have gotten me here. So shout out to Ms. Mullins at Osborne Park for always having seen the potential in me before I could, and Mr. Utzler at Ripon Middle School for always supporting me no matter what, and of course my family who sees the best in me no matter what. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I wish to acknowledge Chase Durgan of Colgan High School for being recognized as a Virginia nominee for the 2026 U.S. Presidential Scholars Program in Academics. Chase Durgan is supported tonight by Assistant Principal Dr. David Parrish, as well as Chase's family. Chase has graciously declined an opportunity to speak this evening.
Congratulations, and to introduce her honoree, I'd like to call Ms. Wall.
Thank you, Dr. Lateef. I wish to acknowledge Luke Davis of Battlefield High School for his recognition as a Virginia nominee for the 2026 U.S. Presidential Scholars Program in Academics. Luke is supported tonight by Battlefield Principal Dolores Lucas and Luke's family. And Luke has graciously declined an offer to speak, but Luke, we congratulate you on your success.
Congratulations again to all our young scholars, and I'd like to ask all those involved in supporting our honorees this evening, including family members and teachers and staff, to stand in recognition of their support. Please stand. Truly, truly remarkable. Thank you very much. Congratulations again. And before we take a few pictures, Superintendent Dr. McDade would like to share a few words. Dr. McDade.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. To all of our students being honored tonight, I am truly proud of each of you and your accomplishments. Your talent, discipline, and determination is on full display in the many accomplishments that have been recognized this evening. And you each have shown what is possible when students are challenged, supported, and empowered to rise. Whether through the power of your writing, your extraordinary academic achievement, or your leadership and service, you are already showing us what it means to build a thriving future. And that's only possible through the support of our family members, our educators, our school leaders. I want to thank each and every one of you for continuing to pour into our students and nurturing their many talents. So congratulations, and we are PWCS proud.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. McDade. At this time, I'd like to request our honorees come forward for a photo with the school board and receive a small token of our appreciation.
Thank you. Thank you.
You can go up closer. You can get a good one. Yeah, go on up. You can go. You can go up there. You can go up. Pick them all up.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much. That is always really the highlight of the evening, and so we truly appreciate everyone for letting us honor and recognize those tremendous individuals and remarkable young scholars. Moving on to consent agenda this evening. We're moving on to 12.01, adoption of consent agenda. Vice Chair Jesse.
I move that the Prince William County School Board approve the public meeting agenda, hold on, glasses, consent agenda as recommended.
Do we have a second?
Mr. Chairman.
Ms. Zargo.
I second.
Any discussion? Please vote.
Vote is 8 yes, unanimous, motion passed.
Okay, up next is acknowledgements and recognitions. Vice Chair Jesse.
I move that the Prince William County School Board approve the adoption of the acknowledgement and recognition as recommended.
Do I have a second?
Mr. Chairman.
Ms. Williams.
Second.
Any discussion? Please vote.
The vote is 7 yes, 1 abstain, Tredinick, motion passed.
Okay, moving on to citizen comment times. Those citizens who signed up in advance with the clerk may address the school board this evening when they're called to the podium. The citizen comment period for regular school board meetings is 1 hour, and citizens may speak on agenda items or other topics germane to the operations and policies of Prince William County Schools. Please use proper decorum and manners while at the podium, or you'll be asked to step aside. We ask that the audience please be respectful of each speaker and refrain from any clapping, cheering, or jeering to avoid disruption of the meeting. If you do not do so, the board will recess, and I will ask that the room be cleared to restore public order. Tonight, we have 5 citizens signed up to speak. When I call your name, please come up to the podium and state your name and address for the record. I will just name the first 5 so you all know what the order is, and you may choose to come up front or wait in your current seat. Kimberly Melman Orozco, Marty Weaver, Monan Davis, Carlisa Harris, Rena Stapp, and yeah, that's it. Kimberly Melman Orozco.
My name is Dr. Kimberly Melman Orozco. My address is on file. Most people in this audience didn't really catch when you guys had adopted all unanimously the legal recommendations. You did it really quickly. All 8 of you voted in favor of it. Most people don't know that you're spending millions of dollars on attorney's fees covering up your systemic violations to the Americans with Disabilities Act and the IDEA. I know about this because in 2024, you all, in one of those agendas, authorized, I don't know if it was unanimously or not, but you authorized and offered to me and my family $20,000. That's what you offered me to drop all of my complaints against you. And I see, Mr. Welk, you're nodding your head, yes, you offered it, but the contingency was, and this is what your administrator said on recording, that I sign an NDA with teeth, a non-disclosure agreement with teeth. Give up my First Amendment right, give up my daughter's First Amendment right, so that you can have a non-disclosure agreement about all your violations. What this audience also doesn't know, that I recorded you. I recorded you, Mr. Welk. I recorded the teacher, the whistleblower teacher who called me. I can't play those recordings here because in your agenda, you can't play recordings, but I am gonna post them. I'm gonna post them online for everybody to see and hear at some point. In one recording, the teacher told me, they're violating so many laws. You have such grounds. But she said, here's the thing. If anybody asks me about it, they don't know anything. I don't want to have to lie, but if anybody asks me, I'm going to deny everything you told me. So I recorded her. She said, your daughter's legal rights are being violated. That's in the transcript of what she told me. Your daughter's legal rights are being violated, and they don't care. They want to sweep it under the rug. They want to shut me up. That's what your teacher said. And instead of settling that claim, you proceeded to spend over $500,000 in attorney's fees to keep it quiet. You offered me a pittance of $20,000 to sign an NDA with teeth. Mr. Wilk, in the recording of you, you said, obviously, I know you're a very formidable person. I obviously think you have the best interests of children and your daughter, and of course, everyone in mind. That's what you said to me, Mr. Wilk. You also said it's not a secret that you and Dr. Lateef don't like each other. It was a secret to me. You said, we don't get along, but it's public. It's public. That's in one of the recordings. You told me you blamed him for the violations. I also contacted, I only have a few minutes left, Willie Deutsch, former board member. He said the school admin can be the worst at retaliated, way too focused on the institution over children. They said that parents will keep on removing their kids in disgust. I'll continue these conversations until these audio recordings are public. Thank you.
Marty Weaver.
Marty Weaver, Occoquan. Women's History Month. Are we talking about real women yet? I remain offended by your failure to recognize our importance in history when you believe anyone can be one. And when did our history go from celebrating life by our unique ability to give birth and keep the human race going to celebrating the death of our preborn and men can't give birth? You're actually eliminating our importance by recognizing anyone who believes they are a woman as a woman. They are not and never will be. At least one of you took anatomy and genetics in college and should know what a woman is and is not. And we have a female Supreme Court justice who can't define what a woman is. Can you believe that? When there's any kind of competition by categories and a trans person participates as their identity, win or lose, then an actual woman has been cheated of her place in history. In non-sports, best actress, best female singer, and it doesn't matter how many trans are participating. One is too many if a girl is cheated of her rightful place. How about first woman on Mars? Maybe that first is safe if a trans person is using drugs to maintain their facade, but not if they just have to identify as a woman. If you think it, you are it. No drugs or surgery required. Girls won't want to even try to follow their dreams when at any time they can be cheated out of accolades, scholarships, a path to their future successes. When Title IX was passed, there was no confusion about women, only now when we have some people with their own agendas who try to alter immutable characteristics with drugs and mutilation surgery of perfectly healthy bodies. Gender-affirming care should be to fix the troubled mind. Making kids medical experiments is harmful, and not getting them help in a timely fashion is harmful. You are harming the majority by making them accept crazy positions of others' delusions. A pronoun for a person is either he or she, not they, and it is not okay calling little Joey Sally and her. You are fostering a grooming environment for vulnerable kids, distancing them from their families. You are not their families. This child abuse must stop. Safe and fair treatment for girls, for their futures, their histories. So why am I still here talking to you? Because you are still there. Most of you are still manifestly deluded in your support of crazy behavior. You think you are so educated, but you lack common sense. So still hurting the majority, still hurting girls, still hurting their thriving futures. Women's history is too important. And Virginia's first female governor, through her refusal to cooperate with federal law enforcement, is hurting girls and women. Girls groped, women killed, illegal men protected. But she's not protecting us. Great job. Remember, this is Women's History Month, not trans, and Anything Goes Month is June.
Monan Davis.
Dr. McDade, Chairman Lateef, and members of the Prince William County School Board. My name is Monan Davis, and my address is on file. I'm here first to express my support for the 2027 proposed school budget, which is clearly aligned with the division's strategic plan. This budget advances instructional quality, invests in our educators and staff, and most importantly, begins the work towards universal pre-K. Universal pre-K will strengthen early literacy, expand access to working families, and make Prince William County more competitive and attractive to new residents. Sustained investment in early childhood education will yield long-term benefits for students on a broader community, and I encourage continued collaboration, especially as discussions continue on the county level regarding revenue sharing agreements. Second, in my capacity as a member of the VA Fitz-Turner Commission on Human Relations and Civil Rights, I respectfully ask the division partner with our commission on issues of human relations and civil rights. Recent incidents remind us that creating truly inclusive school climates require consistent leadership, unequivocal norms, and timely, transparent responses. While students must experience safe, dignity, belonging in every school, staff must as well. I am encouraged by the efforts to develop leadership pipelines that reflect the diversity of the division, but more work remains. Microaggression, biased assumption about competence, and inequitable treatment continues to impact both students and educators. It is essential that whenever a student or a staff member reports discrimination, proper procedures are followed consistently, thoroughly, and with accountability, data, inform, and follow up. Finally, I want to center the realities facing teachers, especially special education educators and new teachers serving students with exceptional needs. The combination of large caseloads, complex compliance requirements, daily instructional demands is pushing too many educators towards burnout. To protect these students and retaining high-quality teachers, I respectfully ask the division to prioritize certain things. I will send these things to Dr. McDade at a later date. I thank you for your time and your continued commitment to student, faculty, and families.
Thank you. Carlisa Harris.
Good evening, Dr. McDade and members of the school board. My name is Carlisha Harris, and my address is on file. I'm here to raise concerns regarding the conduct of the OP varsity coach, who also serves as a teacher, and whether his actions comply with Prince William County school policy and professional standards. Following my husband's remarks at a prior school board meeting, the boys varsity coach unfollowed my son on social media. Unfollowing is the equivalent of unfriending. To be told you don't want to be friends is hurtful, and especially when it's at no fault of your own. The concern is not the action alone, but the timing. When a teacher and coach changes behavior toward a student immediately after a parent engages in public process, it creates a reasonable and objective concern of retaliation. In this case, my son was singled out. There are also significant and deeply concerning issues regarding social media conduct. PWCS policy requires staff to maintain clear professional boundaries with students, including on social media. Following students on personal accounts is a direct violation of that boundary. Further, the boys varsity coach reposted a reel on his personal account that includes racial slurs and other offensive language, content that students can view. At a time when PWCS middle school student has experienced harm from that same racial slur, it is deeply concerning that a teacher and coach would appear to normalize it. This is not simply poor judgment, it reflects a failure to meet the standard expected of someone in a position of authority over students. In addition, the basketball program's social media includes sexually explicit lyrics and foul language in some of the music choices. That content is directly tied to a school program and should reflect appropriate standards for students. I brought these concerns to the principal on March 6th. It is unacceptable and disappointing that as of today, despite the conversation, staff remain out of compliance with PWCS policies. Taken together, retaliation, social media violations, and continued noncompliance, this conduct does not meet PWCS standards. It is the responsibility of the school board to ensure that district policies are consistently enforced and that staff are held accountable. I respectfully request that the board review these concerns and take appropriate action to protect students and uphold the integrity of the program. Thank you.
Thank you. Rena Stapp.
Good evening, Dr. McDade, Dr. Lateef, and members of the school board. I came here today to talk about Women's History Month, so happy Women's History Month to many of the folks that are seated on the dais and many that are back here as well. It is a month to recognize all women, including the LGBTQ community, which includes trans women. Some wonderful Virginian women that have made history are Katherine Johnson, Maggie Walker, and Dolly Madison, all of whom have places named after them in this area. And I've been excited to show my kids, especially the GMU campus right around the corner, the Johnson Center there. I did want to kind of add a few remarks about pronouns about women. She, they, I, and we can all be used for women in this situation and in most. So I want to make sure that we include safe treatment for all of our girls in school, especially the trans girls who need safety and security the most. And just a quick thing for later in the month, March 21st is World Down Syndrome Day. So if you want to rock your socks and wear some mismatched socks on that day, that could be a fun way, or wear blue and yellow. I know our school is doing it on Thursday since Friday is off for Eid. So if you walk around some schools, you might see some fun socks tomorrow. And March 31st is Trans Day of Visibility. So that's another day to go out and celebrate wonderful people in our community. Have a great evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That concludes citizen comment time for this evening. We'll move on to student representative time. We have our wonderful student representative, Beulah Sarsa, from the C.D. Hilton High School. Ms. Sarsa, floor is yours.
Thank you. Good evening to members of the Prince William County community, members of the school board, and Superintendent McDade. It is a pleasure and a privilege to give voice to the student perspective tonight. I'd like to begin my remarks by providing an update on the Student Senate. Although our last meeting was canceled due to the inclement weather, hopefully you guys stayed dry, the Senate remains hard at work for students across the county as members chair their Student Voice Committee meetings and bring that feedback back to our sessions. More recently, senators began the research and outreach needed to start an advocacy initiative that seeks to collaborate with members of the General Assembly and VDOE to create a statewide Student Bill of Rights. On March 7th, 2026, hundreds of PWCS students participated in the statewide Virginia Educators Rising Conference and Competition, where future educators got to demonstrate their skills in a variety of events ranging from public speaking to lesson planning. I am proud to share that students from Forest Park, Hilton, Osborne Park, and Freedom High Schools placed within their events and advanced to the national competition. Keep up the great work. Over the past couple of weeks, our band, orchestra, and choir students have performed at their district assessments across the middle and high school levels. Performing arts not only provides our students with a beautiful way to express themselves, but teaches them how to work collaboratively, which is a skill that they'll need as they move into the working world. We are very proud of you all. Thank you for sharing your talents with us. Really quick, I'm going to take a second to shout out our student representative applications. So any students watching, if you see the work that Karina Grover and I do at school board meetings and you're interested in doing this next year, please take a second to fill out the student representative application. Those applications are due on Sunday, April 5th at 11:59 p.m. Teachers and parents watching, if you know a student with the leadership abilities, collaborative skills, and future-focused thinking required for this position, please encourage them to apply. Wishing you the best of luck. Moving on, I'd like to further highlight the recommended action that was approved earlier, giving students and staff Tuesday, April 21st off due to the special election. Not only will this make schools available to be used as polling places, but it will encourage our students and staff who may not have otherwise had the time to go out and vote to do so, which is an important part of being an engaged and informed citizen. Finally, I'm looking forward to Mr. Guilfoyle's State of Schools address, and I know that plenty of parents will be listening in as well. That'll be all for tonight. Thank you and have a wonderful rest of your evening.
Okay, thank you. Up next, we have this, Office of the Chief Financial Officer, 16.01, Budget CIP Approval Action. Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to welcome our Chief Financial Officer, Shaquille Youssef, for an update on the budget and CIP for fiscal year 2027. We've already presented the budget to the school board, and so now it is up for a vote, and we are prepared to answer any questions that the board might have.
I'm sorry, any questions? No? Justin? A motion is now in order for agenda item 16.01.
Mr. Vice Chair,
Yes.
I can make the motion? Yes. Okay. I move that the Prince William County School Board, 1, approve the FY 2027 to 31 CIP and the FY 2027 school budget for all funds in the total amount of $2,938,118,893. And further, 2, approves the revenue sharing agreement between the Prince William County School Board of County Supervisors, sorry, I read that wrong, Prince William Board of County Supervisors and the Prince William County School Board that provides 57.23% of the county general revenues to be transferred to the school division for the operations of fiscal year 2027, and further directs the superintendent to forward the requested school budget by fund totals to the Prince William Board of County Supervisors, and further request the Prince William Board of County Supervisors to approve and appropriate the fiscal year 2027 school budget by lump sum appropriation in the amount of $2,938,118,893 by fund totals as in previous years.
Mr. Vice Chairman,
Do I have a second?
I'd like to second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Jesse. Pursuant to the Virginia State and Local Conflict of Interest Act, I am required to declare the following regarding adoption of the budget. Number 1, my wife is employed as a teacher in this school system, and I therefore have a personal interest in this transaction. Number 2, I am a member of a group of 3 or more persons affected by the transaction. And number 3, I am able to participate in the adoption of the budget fairly, objectively, and in the public interest.
Discussion?
So real quick, does anyone have any questions or concerns on the budget?
No.
We're voting on the budget, right?
Yeah.
Anybody? Well, I just do, I have one comment. I'll just, thank you very much, Shaquille. And we appreciate all the work that the staff has done and the superintendent on this year's budget. I think, you know, we have some very exciting new things lined up in our strategic plan, and I am excited that the budget's going to begin the funding of that strategic plan, specifically the beginnings of universal pre-K, the work we're doing to continue providing supports in the classrooms to our students and our teachers, and I look forward to that. So I fully support the budget as is.
Mr. Chairman?
Ms. Arport.
Can I tag on to what you just said?
Yeah.
I know this $2,938,118. That sounds like a lot of money. And you mentioned the strategic plan. For those of you who are watching, one of the things that I really wanted when I first joined the board was a way of accounting for how we are spending our money. And every year, Dr. McDade does give us a report on what's happened according to the strategic plan. She gives us the benchmarks, where we are, what targets we're hitting, what targets we're missing, what we need to do about it. So pay attention through the course of the school year, because you will get those reports. You will see exactly where these dollars are going and how they're being used, and if there's any course corrections, she addresses it immediately.
Ms. Wall.
Thank you. I also want to reiterate that the budget is closely tied to strategic priorities. And while I don't have any questions, because I've asked questions in previous meetings, I did want to make a couple of points clear, at least as far as how I'm looking at this. I am supporting the proposed fiscal year 2027 budget, but I do so with a clear understanding of the responsibility that comes with it. Every dollar in this budget represents the trust of our taxpayers. These are hard-earned funds from families and businesses across the county. And we have an obligation to ensure they are used wisely transparently, and with measurable impact. And tonight, later, we're going to hear about some of that impact. And this proposed budget, I believe, reflects that balance. It makes targeted investments in areas where we know they matter most: student learning, early childhood education, and support for students with disabilities. Those are really big investments in this budget. While at the same time, the budget remains grounded in careful strategic planning. It also recognizes that our greatest asset is our people. We are the largest employer in Prince William County. And competitive compensation is not just a benefit, it's necessary to retain and attract high-quality educators that our students deserve. At the same time, the budget shows discipline. It acknowledges changing enrollment trends, prioritizes existing commitments that we've already made, and focuses on sustainability over time rather than short-term goals, or short-term gains, I should say. That is the kind of stewardship that our community expects from us. So the way I look at this budget is we are not simply funding programs, we are fulfilling a promise that every student in Prince William County will have access to a high-quality education that prepares them for their future. Meeting that obligation requires both investment and accountability, and I believe this budget does both of those things. It supports student success while respecting the taxpayers who make that success possible. And so for those reasons, I will be supporting this year's fiscal year 2027 budget. Thank you.
Well, those are very good words coming from our audit chair. So I appreciate that, Madam Chair. And I can't do anything but double down on your statement regarding the commitment that this board has shown over the last 4 years, and I believe we plan on showing over the next 4 years, of our commitment to this community to make sure this budget reflects the values of everyone in this community in our county. And I think we've done a really good job with that. And I'm proud to also, again, say that I support this budget. I think that, I'll continue to sort of push, as chairman of the school board, defending every dollar that we get from the county and from the state to make sure it gets into the classrooms and into the students. And I will continue to do that work. We are by far not the richest district, nor are we the most well-funded school system in the Commonwealth. We have a ways to go, and we have more to do, and that's outlined in our strategic plan, and we're going to continue as a board and as the superintendent administration to advocate for the work we're doing here to make sure our schools get fully funded in every which way we can to make sure that our students and our communities get everything they deserve and they need. Thank you. Ms. Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to concur with what my fellow board members have been saying about the budget. I will also support the budget. It is, to me, a continuation of several years of progress in the right direction. I do believe that everything in this budget absolutely aligns with our strategic plan and the direction that we are taking the school division. No longer is public school a place where you spend 8 hours and you sit in a classroom and change every so many periods for academic subject. This budget truly reflects our position in the community and how we value that position and how inclusive we are of everyone and everyone's needs to the best of our ability. I am very proud to support this budget. I'm very proud to be a part of a school division that continues to change and continues to educate the whole student and even more so their family, and continue to keep us at the forefront and shine. We are the competition when it comes to summer hiring versus the county. We are the place to be because of our school division. And the money that we spend, I know sometimes people say, oh, well, if you social emotional learning, how is that dollars in the classroom? It's supporting the person. It's educating our students so they go out and continue to be productive members of society. Everything connects and everything matters. And I do believe that each year, at the end of the year, when we review how our progress is, and even like tonight at State of Schools, you see the progress and the money is well spent. And I'm very proud to be a part of this school division and to support this budget in our continuing progress. And I would like to thank everyone for their hard work on the budget. It's not only just our school staff that has input, but it's our community members, it's board members, it's sometimes even students. Again, that shows our dedication to community and ensuring forward progress. So thank you.
Mr. Blake.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I just want to start by saying this is a very consequential budget, and I think it's consequential because this is our first budget that we are passing since we adopted the strategic plan, Elevate 2030. And what that means is simple, that this is where our vision begins to take shape through real investments and real decisions with real dollars. And that's why tonight I am also voting yes on this budget. Not because this budget is perfect, but because it's aligned with what we said matters most, and that is student success. When I look at this budget, I see it alignment that's clear. I see that that alignment is clearly through our 4 key commitments. So first, I want to talk about learning achievement for all. This budget continues to invest where it matters most, early learning. And like last week, I was at the spelling bee, and I saw so many first, second, and third graders out there competing in this countywide spelling bee. So we could see the impact that our literacy work is doing. The vowels is working. Our youngest learners are building strong foundations. And we know when students can read, everything becomes possible. And that's why I'm especially encouraged by the continued investment towards early universal pre-K. And this moves us one step closer to making high quality early learning accessible to every 4-year-old across the county. And if we are serious about outcomes, we have to be serious about how early we begin. And then the second one is positive climate and culture. And student success requires more than academics, it requires support. And this budget continues to invest in mental health and student supports, which is critical. I also want to highlight our continued investment into teacher and staff compensation, like you heard before. A positive school climate starts with the adults in the building. When we support and retain strong educators, we create stability for students, and that stability matters. And I also want to highlight something that was been long in the making, the addition of the 13 athletic trainers at each of our high schools. This is about protecting student athletes. It's about safety, prevention, making sure our students have more support, the most support they deserve. And I'm glad to see us this is bringing us in line with our neighbors, because our students deserve that level of care. And then third, which is our family and community engagement, we know that when families are engaged, students do better. And this is also where access matters. The investment in the mobile and school-based health services, which include the mobile health clinic, and then the proposed clinic at Garfield High School is a big step forward, especially for the communities that lack access to health care. When we bring services directly into the communities and schools, we remove real barriers for families. But this is also part of the broader Student Family Workforce Readiness Initiative that I'm also excited about as we move towards 2030. We're working to offer those 3 CTE courses where students and families can learn side by side, and that matters. Because when families are supported and growing alongside their children, we strengthen their entire household, right? And that leads to stronger student outcomes. Again, that's what we're after. And then fourth was the organizational coherence. This is about making sure our system is aligned and working together. Through this budget and the CIP, we are continuing to invest in our staff, our facilities, and our long-term planning. And I also want to highlight the $3.4 million investment in the Infrastructure Technology Fund supporting the advancement in artificial intelligence, digital equality, and enhanced data systems. This is about building a smarter, more responsive system, one that works better for students and families. And across all of this, what stands out is alignment. This budget aligns our resources with our priorities. And when And when that alignment is there, that's when we begin to see real results, stronger outcomes for students, stronger support for families, and a system that works the way it should. There's always more we can do, and we must continue to be responsible stewards of the public resources, like you heard before. But this budget reflects progress, it reflects intention, and most importantly, it reflects a commitment to our students. So tonight, I'm proud to support this budget because at the end of the day, this is about making sure every student in Prince William County has the opportunity to succeed. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Blake. Mr. Wilk, and then Ms. Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Since tonight's a night of a lot of old news, I do want to extol the value of our partnership with the Board of County Supervisors. It is because of the shared revenue agreement, which has been implemented and in place for years, that we are able to make this happen. We are able to provide our students the best resources as possible. We're able to provide our teachers good pay and raises each and every year. I would be remiss if I didn't thank them, my counterpart on that board, for all their help and support. It's palpable in this budget that they are there for us. And so again, I want to thank the Board of County Supervisors and that shared revenue agreement. Thank you.
Ms. Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I just want to end with saying, of course, I am extremely ecstatic hopefully this passes for the CIP and the additional robotic space. I wanted to save, for me, the best for last. It's been a very long time coming. And in saying that, just a little notoriety that Prince William County Schools is one of the few school divisions in the country that has air, land, and sea robotics, and I'm excited that we will have a space for that and eventually staff to support that. And the last thing I want to say about that is we are also piloting our IQ robotics for our special needs students. And so with the continuing growth of this program, it further aligns with giving each student opportunity to participate in something that is the forefront of technology when a lot of school divisions, everyone can't participate just because they go to school there. So I just wanted to send a special thank you for that because for me it's been years coming. So thank you.
Mr. Denick.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Shaquille, that you had to stand here for that long. I feel bad that you're standing up there because we don't have any questions for you, but we are praising this budget process. I do also want to point out this is one of our lowest attended meetings, and it has been historically for the last couple of years, even when I sat in the audience. And I do think it's unfortunate because a budget is such a huge part of what we do. We spend a lot of time on this budget. We spend a lot of weeks, a lot of meetings, a lot of face-to-face phone calls, things like that with Dr. McDade, sharing our priorities, because each one of our priorities in our districts are different at times. And to come together in one big budget is a big deal for us as school board members as well. One of the meetings that I feel like a lot of people miss out on is the one that we had last week, which is the markup where we talk about those additional investments that we have added or asked for our districts. One thing that I'm super excited, and I made a promise to a gentleman that has come and speak with his sons and other members of his volleyball team, is that we are adding boys volleyball as a sport, and we're giving the supplements for that. Also for girls wrestling, because we were sharing coaches for the girls wrestling team and boys, and that was really unfair for our ladies and for the guys because it was just a stretch. And so I think that that's great that we're putting that towards. And of course, it's been no secret that I'm a huge fan of girls flag football, and we are adding supplements for that. And I can't wait to see that program continue to be successful. And I hope eventually our girls get to go to compete with other districts and school districts. I still stand on the fact that we would have beat them this year too, but it's okay. We didn't get to do that. Another thing that I was super passionate about is making sure that our elementary schools are secure and safe, and adding those extra CSOs into the budget. Our armed security officers at our elementary school level really helps with that, and so I appreciate that. I also, of course, love that high school athletic trainer add-on. I can't wait to see that get used. And you know, they are a huge vital part of our sports, and I'm thankful for all that they do for our kiddos, and I hope that that helps add some more support in that direction. But I'm also very grateful for Dr. McDade and the time that she puts into this budget, and really listening to each one of us and our laundry list of pages and pages of add-ons that we have and questions that we have, especially me. So I appreciate her patience with me and all of the things that I add on. And I also want to thank my principals for sitting down and meeting with me, staff members, parents that stop us and say things that they want to see added. But the collaboration with our principals, especially my principals, being willing to be open and honest with me about needs and things like that, I just greatly appreciate that through this process. And I fully support this budget, and I'm excited to see these things come to fruition.
Mr. Jesse.
I just want to thank everybody for everything that you do. You know, it's very important that we keep pace with everything, and I think this school system does. You know, you have to have money to get things done, and people like this school system. We do a lot of wonderful things, but you have to have money for that. And so like Mr. Wilkes said, we need to thank our Board of County Supervisors and our taxpayers. I know nobody really wants taxes, but at the same token, without it, we wouldn't have these opportunities that we have here to get all the things that we need to do. And I like the fact also that Dr. McDade and her staff are looking across the school system, making things as uniform as possible, and that's in the budget in some cases where one school that maybe doesn't have the funds for certain things is supported by the central office and so forth. So I think we're doing a wonderful job, and it's money well spent. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jesse. Mr. Youssef, anything to add?
No, sir.
Okay. Dr. McDade, any final words before this board takes their vote on the 26-27 budget?
I've said all I have to say about the budget. Thank you.
Okay, outstanding. Or I'm sorry, it's the fiscal year 27 school budget, right? Okay. All right, at this time, I'd ask the board to please vote.
The vote is 8 yes, unanimous, motion passed.
Outstanding. Thank you very much. Thank you to the board for another unanimous budget. Moving on to superintendent's time. Dr. McDade.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to begin tonight by recognizing 3 important observances in March: Social Work Month, National Nutrition Month, and National Athletic Training Month. How apropos, we just got through talking about athletic trainers. These recognitions are connected by a larger truth that is also reflected in our Elevate 2030 strategic plan. If we want every student to graduate on time and ready to create a thriving future for themselves and their community, we must create schools where students are supported academically, emotionally, physically, and socially. Elevate 2030 calls on us to foster welcoming, safe, and nurturing environments and keeps well-being at the center of our work. During Social Work Month, we recognize our school social workers for their vital role that they play in helping students and families overcome barriers to learning. Their work reflects our commitment to a positive climate and culture and to meaningful support systems that help students feel connected, safe, and ready to learn. For National Nutrition Month, we celebrate the dedicated professionals who nourish our students each and every day. Their work connects directly to our focus on supporting students beyond the classroom through stronger family and community supports, including priorities such as expanded food pantry access. They help ensure students come to school healthy, focused, and ready to succeed. Throughout National Athletic Training Month, we recognize the athletic trainers and support staff who help protect the health and safety of our student athletes. Their work ensures our commitment to safe environments extends beyond the classroom walls and onto our athletic fields, courts, and spaces. This is why our budget includes an additional athletic training position at each high school. Taken together, these observances remind us that student success does not happen by accident. It is built by caring professionals across our division who help create the conditions for students to grow, belong, and achieve. We are grateful to our social workers, nutrition teams, and athletic trainers, training professionals for the difference that they make in the lives of our students each and every day. I also want to just take a minute to acknowledge our Save Promise Club student leaders. The Save Promise Club is a student-driven organization focused on creating safer, more connected school communities. And today, I'm so excited because we held our 3rd annual summit, which was our largest summit to date, with participation from almost every middle and high school. Our SAVE members lead initiatives that strengthen belonging and prevent violence before it happens. Our schools are stronger when students lead the way. So thank you to our safety and crisis readiness team under the direction of Jake Edwards for sponsoring this division-wide initiative, elevating student voice and student leadership. For all of our students, I want you to know that your leadership matters, your voice matters, and you are making a difference in this school division. While the 3rd quarter is ending March 27th, I also want to encourage our students, staff, and families to stay connected and engaged. These moments in the school year offer an important opportunity to celebrate growth, continued learning, and prepare for testing season. And as a reminder, schools and offices are closed this Friday, March 20th, in recognition of Eid, which marks the end of Ramadan, and we look forward to seeing all of our students for a full week of learning the following week. For planning purposes, for families, please be reminded that schools will be closed in observance of spring break from March 30th through April 6th. And I hope everyone will use that time to relax, recharge, and return ready to finish the school year strong. As we review the academic state of schools, first semester school year 25-26 update, I want to begin by noting that these results give us both a reason for encouragement and a clear sense of where we must stay focused. We are seeing a decline in active student enrollment, which has been predicted over the last several years, and we will continue to monitor student enrollment very closely as we continue to make decisions, critical decisions for the organization. At the same time, our work to improve attendance is showing positive momentum, with chronic absenteeism trending in the right direction. We are also seeing encouraging progress toward end-of-year student mastery in language arts, supported in part by the strong implementation of resources that you also see in our budget, such as Just Right Reader, which are helping us meet students where they are and accelerating growth. So at this time, I would like to introduce our Associate Superintendent of Teaching and Learning, Dr. Stephanie Sullivan, and our Director of Research Assessment and Data Services, Dr. Tim Neal, who will present the academic state of schools first semester update. Dr. Neal?
Thank you. Good evening, Dr. Lateef, school board members, and Dr. McDade. I'm going to give a brief overview of the state of our schools at the point in the semester, and I'm going to touch on our active enrollment, attendance, and key academic information related to literacy and mathematics. So this table shows our active enrollment as of the end of the first semester. It's pretty standard in terms of the distribution of students across different groups. What is critical to take note of, though, is our active enrollment numbers have decreased about 1,200 students compared to last year, which is consistent with what we're seeing in terms of our overall projections for the next few years. When we look at our average daily attendance, you can see we're hovering in the upper 90s for most of the first semester. What you also see are the characteristic dips right around holidays or weather events. That high average daily attendance rate, though, is translating into improvements in our chronic absenteeism rate. So just as a reminder, chronic absenteeism is defined as missing 10% or more of the membership days, so that's 18 days with our 180-day school year. It does include both excused and unexcused absences. When you compare our chronic absenteeism rate at the end of the first semester last year compared to this year, you can see we're about 1.5 points lower than where we were. So we are demonstrating improvements and trending in the right direction. Moving on to some of our academic indicators. We will first start taking a look with VALS, which is an early literacy screener that is reported here in pre-K through 3. It does look at phonics, decoding, fluency, comprehension, and it places students into risk bands, high, moderate, and low. So what you see here is a distribution of the risk bands by grade level. So you can see at the top, we have grade 1 beginning of year to grade middle of year. And on the far right, you can see that decrease in the light blue bar. That's the direction we want to see. From BOI to MOI, we want to see that number fall, which is what we see across pre-K, kindergarten, and first grade. Now, when we get to second and third grade, I want to pause for a moment on this slide because third grade is a little bit different. In third grade, there are criteria that you would meet in order to be tested. If you exceed those criteria, you are not assessed using vowels. So you can see at the third grade level at the BOI, just over 60% of our students met the exclusion criteria for being tested with the vowels. However, when you look at the students who were tested, you can see that the light blue bar, or the middle blue bar, I guess, also is trending in the right direction. So it's a smaller percentage of students, a smaller number of students who are tested, but that percentage represents the entire grade level. Moving on to HMH, this is a reading assessment that's administered 3 times a year in grades 2 through 8. It does have both beginning year and middle of year benchmark. So you can see the blue bars are beginning of year, the gold bars are a middle of year, and it's demonstrating progress towards those end of the year benchmarks. Across student groups, you can see we do have that upward movement. And when we look at this by grade level, again, we also see on the whole increases towards that end of the year benchmark. And that same pattern exists when we look at our L students by grade level, as well as our students with disabilities by grade level. So this is new information in this presentation. It covers the STAR reading assessment, which is a literacy assessment given to students in grades 9 through 11. You can think of it as the secondary version of HMH. And when we look at this data, again, we see an upward trend towards meeting those end of the year benchmarks. And you can see on an aggregate for all students, our students with disabilities and our English learners, we also see that upward movement. This is that same information disaggregated by grade level. Again, upward movement, the movement is smaller at 9th grade. When we break it down by English learner, again, we see that upward movement towards the end of the year benchmarks. And then with students with disabilities, in grades 10 and 11, we see upward movement, and we see staticity in grade 9. Momentum Math is also new data for this year. It is a mathematics assessment that is given in grades 1 through 8 and algebra. Again, the blue bar is where we were at the beginning of the year. The gold bar is where we are currently. And it does represent movement toward those end of the year mastery. Again, across all grade levels, again, you see that upward movement. When we break it down by English learners, we also see that upward trend towards content mastery, and the same with our students with disabilities.
Why is third grade so high in all of these? And then why does it go down after third grade?
So,
why aren't we at the same level for each grade moving up?
So being a new assessment, we have not seen a historic pattern, so I would have to confer with my colleagues in the content area to determine some of the characteristics as to why these patterns would manifest.
Thank you.
Lastly, we have progress towards graduation. Although there are lots of different criteria needed to earn diplomas, we are focusing on 2 specific areas: our core academic classes, so that would be English, language arts, math, and social studies, and then our verified credits associated with those courses. So when we look at this bar chart, the blue bars show our core content areas, and with the percentage of students meeting those criteria currently, and then the gold bar shows the percent of students who have the verified credit associated with that content area as well. Across each of those, what you see is a black horizontal bar. That's a reference as to where we were last year. And so what we're seeing here compared to last year is a greater percentage of our students are meeting some of these core criteria at the semester mark compared to previously. So at this point, I will turn it over to Dr. Sullivan.
Thank you, Dr. Neal. I'm going to address a couple of the key strategies that we're utilizing this year to really improve student outcomes for all of our students. First and foremost, I'm glad you got to see the data on math from our assessment momentum. The school board's commitment and adoption of comprehensive instructional materials for math has been critical. Not only did you provide some basic resources, you provided a full, comprehensive, coherent package. And we know from an abundance of resource that coherence in both intervention and core materials is critical, especially for our students who are struggling with key concepts. And so with this adoption, our teachers have a full, robust package to include hard materials as well as digital resources. We were one of the few divisions in the Commonwealth that made the choice to do a full complement of materials because we know touching, feeling, bringing those books home is really important for families as well. These materials also include interactive data. So you saw the overall momentum data, but what you don't see here is what the teachers see. The teachers see detailed information by student on very specific skills, strengths, and weaknesses, and the interventions for those students are directly built in. So for the first time, all systems point to specific strengths and weaknesses of our students, and we're really starting to see the payoff of the implementation of those materials. Additionally, want to recognize that we still continue to support Khan Academy as a great support resource for our high school students. I can't say enough about how important it is that our students are engaging with the platform. It holds the official SAT prep for SAT. Its materials are directly aligned to what students are going to see on the assessment, and teachers actually get very detailed information about student strengths and weaknesses as well. Really want to thank our high schools. They helped us do another relaunch to make sure students were logged in, have access, and are able to use some of those top-tier resources to prepare for how important those assessments are. We continue to maintain our relationship with Varsity Tutors. We are the #1 division in the entire country for our students accessing these resources. Just had a call with them last week. And the board would be very pleased to know that on our snow days, student use was high. We saw huge spikes on the snow days. So our kids are actually logging into courses, practice sessions. We were blown away. I have to say, we were a little surprised that our students were taking advantage of those spaces. When they were independent and at home, they knew the resources were there and they knew how to use them. Really want to call out some of the work doing with our student services and our post-secondary success team by focusing on attendance and behaviors. That has a direct impact on student achievement. I like to say you can't teach an empty seat and you can't teach an angry seat. And so our strategies around student behaviors, our strategies around attendance are obviously very critical for our students and our teachers to maximize that time with children for our students to really be in a space for learning. One of the things we're exceptionally proud of this year is our work with priority school support teams. We created a very structured process where we have a full division-wide commitment to our schools that need the most support to maintain high standards. And every 2 weeks, each one of those schools is working with a team that represents math, English, science, social studies, MTSS, behaviors, basically everything. And we coordinate the support and follow-up alongside the principals. And so this is the first time where division leaders working alongside principals for extraordinarily targeted, precise strategies, and we are seeing really strong growth in our priority schools as a result of this effort. And finally, I just can't wait to talk about this. I want to thank the board because this is a strategic investment that was just approved on what you voted on. And one of the unique strategies we are doing this year is really strengthening that home-school connection with a product called Just Right Readers. And this is where our students who rated in that high-risk category at the beginning of the year began receiving decodable structured text books to bring home with lots of support strategies for families to work with their students on those foundational skills. We were also able to do the same for our newcomer students who needed additional text and a grade appropriate resources in acquiring English language. So I am super pleased to end this presentation with a short video that was produced in the fall showing how Just Right Readers are being used. This video is from Ashland Elementary School, but every single school, every single student in that high-risk category received these resources. So I'm supposed to say,
Look what I
video,
found.
take it away. There you go.
I found books. Well, it's a present, isn't it? Whose name is that? Emmy's getting one. Whose name is that? Zariah's getting one.
Parents are always asking us for resources to have at home, and so this is a tool that we can give them to support the learning that's happening in the classroom.
So Just Right Readers are books that our students can take home with them and enjoy reading with their family. It builds a connection between home and school. It enhances their early phonics skills, and it also builds that connection of reading as enjoyment.
The Just Right Readers target our youngest readers, which will help them grow into stronger, more independent readers.
When he first came home with the books, I was happy to see that they were small and really simplified because he is autistic and nonverbal, and so I was able to have him help me read and look through the book and look at the pictures, and then of course with the letters, show him the pictures and have him point.
You know that being a parent is, if the school efforts or division is helping to your kid grow, is make me proud to being in this division.
You have to make the sounds and blend them in. They have animals with the pictures and some letters. You can get smarter and read better.
So we didn't just give the students books. They got a cool backpack to take home to store their books in. And there are also additional activities that come with the Just Right Readers. There's a QR code that gives you additional ideas to talk about with your child at home with these books.
Just to have a resource that is given to his range and his needs is nice to know that they're looking out for all ranges.
The division cares about your child and their literacy development, and that's why we are sending these books home, so you can practice at home the skills they're learning.
Look at all those books!
Watermelon, arrow.
Thank you. I'll close with letting you know that students get kits like that 5 times a year. And those resources are continuing to go home, and our families have really enjoyed them. And it's such a novel way to support early literacy. So again, I want to thank the board because you actually just approved that earlier tonight. And Dr. Neal and I are happy to take any questions.
Mr. Will.
Not so much questions, but a couple things that I want to highlight when I visit classrooms. I was initially, as the fall rolled out, pleasantly surprised how many physical things I started seeing, and books, workbooks, worksheets.
Manipulative.
You know, it's crazy to think that that's kind of a novelty now, but like having kids do worksheets or having something that they physically can take home. And I've also noticed as a parent, my son is actually starting to physically bring things home. You know, I think, you know, obviously with technology really coming during especially during the COVID period, you know, I do see benefits, you know, to Canvas and other programs like that in modules. However, I do also see the benefits of having, as we saw, all those people were great. I know them in those videos with Ashlyn. But I just think it's critical and important that we went out and bought the physical goods as well. It's just great to see the kids. I see a lot of classrooms doing a little bit of blended too, you know, because, you know, every child learns differently, especially when we're talking about special needs children. But looking at the trends right now in a lot of states that are trying to limit screen time, especially for the K-5 areas, I love the trajectory that we're going, especially kind of re-emphasizing physical things as well. So thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Ms. Williams.
Thank you, Chairman Lateef. I just want to say thank you to your team. I would like in the future to have some data on the effect of the new science of reading and our new math programming, because what I'm seeing here is phenomenal based upon the fact that I have a middle schooler, so I can't tell elementary and high school, in the building environment, but it clearly shows up here in our data. I am excited because I can even see at the middle school level the implementation of textiles. There's a lot of things they can touch, Mr. Wilkes, still in middle school when they do in math, and I love how I see teachers working strategically across content areas to ensure our students are learning, and I do believe that things like the Just Right Reader and what I was talking about earlier during the budget, working around the whole student, whole school community really does impact our student scores. I'm very excited about that, and I just also want to give a special shout out to our priority schools and all the staff that supports them. I can see the difference as a parent of a student who attends a priority school, the additional work and labor that goes into what the staff does to really have a successful student matriculate through the system is amazing. Like I said, it's not just in elementary school you see students handling papers and documents, it's as they go up, and it's meaningful. Do these tests, how impactful are the new, I'm not sure how to frame this question correctly, so hopefully, I'm curious to see how much of an impact or how much students have really learned from the science of reading and math. I know you can't tell me exactly, but for a parent at home, we probably wouldn't know exactly either the impact that they might show in these mid-year scores.
Yeah, the trend data is looking good. Obviously, we monitor not only the growth in a given year for a student, but we also look at division trends year to year. And so trying to see, are we moving the entire needle? We look at our students who are struggling students, and we want to make sure they're actually achieving more than a year's worth of growth. We're trying to target that 1.3 spot to make sure students are actually gaining. And so the evidence that we have right now is suggesting we're definitely going in the right direction. We, of course, won't know till the end of the year. We do have multiple years of data on HMH growth, and it is a really strong predictor of student outcomes on the SOL. So when we see the trend data showing progress, that is encouraging to us that when the students will be facing the actual assessment, that we'll see some mirrored results. This is our new math adoption, and so we are relying on sort of the evidence that we have to show that the students are growing. What's interesting about the math data as well is, again, it targets specific areas. So, for example, what we noticed at mid-year data is our students were struggling the most with data and statistics strands. So we were able to pivot, add some additional lessons, and do some real-time corrections because the data is of high quality and instant. And so we definitely know it allows us to make those course corrections in a much more efficient manner, and we will continue to evaluate each year like we do now.
And one last question along the same lines. So if I'm a parent at home and we get our annual, here's the HMH test, and I'm also learning that we have new science of reading and new math curriculum. As a parent, would it be safe to say that the curriculum and the tools that we see in the classroom influence the test, and we're picking more proficient tools for our student body, and that allows us to have greater input, and we can help each student with their specific needs. So it's not just, because sometimes it gets confusing, right? You hear you have a new math, and then we see these tests, test scores. And if not in education, what does that mean? And a lot of times we just hear, oh, well, it's this bad textbook. So I'm just kind of, if you could just simplify it a little bit more too when we have these presentations, so that all of
For
our
sure.
parents are included in the discussion. I love the way that you do so far. I'm just nitpicking with you because
No,
this was
that's-
one of my weakest links as a
That's
incoming
terrific
parent.
feedback, and we want to continue to make the information really accessible to our families. With ELA, we do support a lot of information online. We've done several parent-family engagements over the new math curriculum, but we want to continue to do more. So we do want to make sure our parents are asking questions, they're looking at the materials, they're understanding how they can support it at home. And so whether it's how we report data or other resources, we definitely want to continue to strengthen that. So that's really good feedback. Thank you.
Thank you so much for all you do.
Thank you.
Ms. Wall.
Thank you. This is great. I always love to have these conversations. I love talking about how the students are doing, especially on the academic front. I have some comments, and then I have a few questions. So I love that we're seeing improvement in chronic absenteeism. I had a question on that about sophomores. I know, especially in sports, sometimes sophomores, I know we allow students who are juniors and seniors to, if they're recruited or they make a college campus visit, then it's an excused absence. But I don't believe we extend it to sophomores, but I've been made aware of situations where sophomores who are being recruited are making college visits, because in the sports world, a lot of times this happens in their freshman and sophomore years. So just something to kind of consider, that we may want to look at that and give them an excused absence if they're actually visiting a college. You know, maybe we can verify it, whatever.
Yeah,
But
I will definitely share all that with my colleagues. It's great feedback.
Yeah, because I know of instances, especially in sports. I love literacy is key. Reading literacy, and I am calling it, I don't know, math literacy also. And I think those high numbers in the first grade, second grade, and especially third grade are a result of the efforts that we've been putting in place over the last couple of years.
We think
That's why
so,
we're seeing
too.
The third graders knock it out of the park, because I
Yeah.
think they were like first graders or kindergartners when we started this. And so, you know, where we see a little bit of a dip is, or maybe not as much progress, like the sixth grade, seventh grade, you know, those are the kids that started with COVID and all that. But, you know, we're seeing progress in every group, which I think is really important to acknowledge. And like, wow, those younger grades, just, it's amazing. And I love that we are focusing on literacy and math, because if we can build those foundations in the younger grades, then that's just going to pay dividends. I think it's going to be exponential, actually, for our students as they progress through middle and high school. Question, going back to the STAR reading assessment, I want to make sure I fully understand this. Is this administered to everybody in 9th through 11th grade?
It is, beginning this year.
Oh, beginning this year.
Yes, so that's why we actually don't, last year, we rolled it out, I would call it a soft launch, and so not all student groups were tested at all schools. As we were able to use that original data to test its efficacy, and we now know that it is very strongly aligned to the standards and the assessment, we implemented universally this year. They did not previously have any progress monitoring on literacy. And again, it's a great tool. It provides tons of details for teachers. When you log in, it will automatically cluster your students on specific skills and strategies that they need, provides direct connect to those different tools that you can use for the student strategy. So it gives teachers phenomenal information. And that's always really important to us in any of our assessments, that it's creating usable data for us to make any additional decisions, course correct as a division or as a teacher.
Thank you for that additional explanation. I think that is important because, you know, sometimes we get pushback on the amount of testing that we do.
Yeah.
But if the testing is serving a purpose that allows
Correct.
us to then turn around and help students, it's really, really valuable. And I asked that question because I do know in years past there have been students who still in 9th, 10th, 11th grades are struggling with their literacy skills, who are not reading as well as you would think for a graduate of Prince William County Schools. So I'm really glad that while we are rightfully focusing on our little kids, that we have a way to assess our older kids and hopefully catch them up to speed or get them, work out whatever difficulty they're having with literacy so that they can be really strong learners for the rest of their lives. Because obviously when they're out of school, they got to figure out how to learn on their own.
Yeah, this new implementation's been vital for that data. We've also been able to utilize really detailed results from the fact that in Prince William County, you all support PSAT from 9th grade, 10th grade, into that 11th grade in it. So we can also see the student skills and trends in reading and writing through those assessments as well. This complements that at a more actionable level.
Thank you. That is great. I love the information about Khan Academy. I agree. Very great resource for test prep. My own students have used that. It's great. I love that we make that available. I was going to ask about varsity tutors, but you answered my question, that they're using it. That was my question, is like, are we using it? Are we maximizing it? Sounds like as long as we have snow days, we're maximizing it.
Again, number one in the country.
Number one in the country. That's amazing. So I'm glad to hear that students are figuring out how to use that, and that hopefully that's really valuable to them. I love the idea, and I'm very excited about the Just Right readers. This is something that I had advocated for, just from a board member perspective, better ways to support families getting literacy products into the homes so that parents can be a really active participant. They'll have the tools that they need to actually help their kids. Some parents come by this naturally, others just don't know what to do. And so I think that's really, really great. Question, I have heard, and this is building on what Mr. Wilk said about kind of focusing on technology-free classrooms, or less emphasis on technology and more emphasis on hands-on learning, handwriting, the thinking, writing, remembering process. And I don't know if we have directives to our younger grades to, like, guidance on how much time to spend or how little time to spend on a device, as opposed to, like, in a classroom, writing, reading, manipulating, and everything else.
Yeah. Our curriculum guides sequence out all of the units, and you will see, particularly in the younger grades, the vast majority of the experiences are, again, in a traditional sense, while blending in the power of technology, because there, in some cases, it can pinpoint and support some personalized learning approaches. So I've been in a ton of classrooms, and I would say in the majority of the earlier years, you're seeing much more of traditional materials, and then the use of the technology when it's a really perfect complement, because kids learn differently, and we also want to capture those students. So we don't have like a time band. It's really about the subject matter, the content, the cognitive lift for the student. What is the better way to approach that? And oftentimes, what are multiple ways to approach that for a student to be successful? But again, we were one of the unique districts with our math purchases. I wanted a book to kids to take home, and all the complimentary online resources for a child to go into their portal for that book and see a demoed lesson. I personally tapped out of helping my child in math in 7th grade, and so now with the technology, our students have both. They have those resources, but they also have access to online tools, and Magma Math, there's a really cool complement to it. So we're trying to find that sweet spot of maximizing what's available, but also recognizing the both. As a reminder, we even bought manipulatives for our high school students. And so we made sure we purchased books, they have online access, and we also bought hands-on manipulatives. So I don't think it is an or, I think it's about that balance of how we utilize all different tools to, find those sweet spot for each of our students.
Yeah, I appreciate that, because students they're digital natives.
Exactly.
They know
So we're not going to ignore it. Yes.
Can't ignore it. We need
Correct.
to teach them, but also we need to make sure they have the fundamentals. And I appreciate that. Great. Thank you. Thanks for the presentation. I have no further questions.
Mr. Jesse?
Thank you. I think, again, the Khan Academy and some of the things we're doing is another example of how we're spending our money. A lot of school systems would not be doing this. The SAT and ACT testing for everybody is another example of how we're using our money to improve the education of our kids and the academic performance. When I ran for this office, the one thing I said is the key thing to me is academics. I love sports. I played sports when I was in high school. But I do remember this university in Maryland, one of the satellite office, that the head of that university said, our goal is not to be having a great athletic program. Our goal is to have a great academic program where we celebrate academics. And to me, that's one of the major things that I want to see here. And I'm excited about everything I'm seeing because to me, we're in the preseason. We're playing the different teams and so forth, but the test comes when we take the SOLs. And I think our goal is 85% that we want to get by the end of the 2030. And I think in some areas we can probably hit that a lot sooner, and I'd like to see that because to me, again, academic is the most important thing that we do. It's not how well we teach the kids, it's how well they learn what is being taught. So that's really important to me, and I'm very happy to see that we look like we're on the right track. I hear rumors from teachers and some people saying that we're too rigid and we don't allow certain things. So prove them wrong.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. McDade. Anything to add?
Nothing further.
Superintendent's time? That concludes superintendent's time? Okay. At this point, we're at board matters. Last week we started with Mr. Wook. This week we start with Mr. Blake.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, everyone. Before I begin, I just want to take a moment and acknowledge the tragic loss of one of our young men here in Prince William County earlier this month at out in Potomac Shores basketball courts. Mr. Lewis Anthony Boone. That loss is felt across our community, and it's just a reminder how important it is that we continue to show up for our young people, to create safe spaces, to stay engaged, and to make sure that they know they're seen, supported, and valued. Please keep Lewis's family and loved ones in your thoughts. I want to start by congratulating the Osborne Park High School girls basketball team on winning back-to-back state championships. This is an incredible accomplishment, and we are so proud of you. I also want to encourage our families to attend the upcoming Title I Spring Family Camp, which will be held at Bevel Middle School on Tuesday, March 24th, with the first session beginning at 6:30 p.m. Events like this give families real tools to support their children, and I encourage folks to show up. Since our last meeting, I've had the opportunity to be out at our schools and in our communities. So on March 6th, I attended a cosmic bowling and a cardboard competition at Neabsco Elementary School, which is a great example of creativity and student engagement. I also got to meet the new principal there, so I'm very excited. She's really had a lot of energy, so I'm glad for that school community. Also, on March 7th, I attended the Prince William Manassas Regional Science and Engineering Fair held here at the Kelly Leadership Center. And that same day, I was able to visit the Virginia Beck's state championships at Woodbridge High School. So this is just our students continuing to impress with innovation and problem solving. That same day, I also attended the 22nd Annual Talent Hunt program, which was hosted by the Pi Lambda chapter of Omega Psi Phi fraternity at Forest Park High School, and it was an outstanding showcase of student talent. On March 9th, I participated in legislative visits with my board member, Ms. Williams, along with our team, continuing to advocate for our schools. We got down there and spoke with our delegates and state leaders and had some very good conversations on how we could help support student success here in Prince William County. And then on March 10th, I attended the Prince William Regional Spelling Bee at Garfield High School. It was really inspiring to see so many young students competing at such a high level. Like I said earlier, there were numerous second and third graders spelling against 7th graders. It was wild. It was even a 1st grader in there. And you have to know these kids have to win their school competition to be there. So it was really, really good to see. And last year, the winner actually came from my district, and this year the winner came from Miss Wall's district, and Miss Wall drove an hour to get there, so I guess that was really gratifying. I thank you for coming out there and watching that. And then on March 13th, I attended the Title I MSL soccer night at Minnieville Elementary. It was a great evening connecting math, literacy, and science for families. On March 14th, I attended the Northern Virginia Regional Sea Perch Challenge at the Aquatic Center. This is a water robotics competition where students design, build, and operate underwater remotely operated vehicles. But it's more than just STEM. Students are working in teams, solving real problems, and applying what they learned in real time. That kind of hands-on learning, that's the kind of hands-on learning that builds confidence and prepares students for the future. What all these moments show is simple. When we invest in our students and create opportunities, they rise to the occasion every time, every time. And I'll close with this. Faith sees the invisible, believes the incredible, and receives the impossible. Thank you.
Ms. Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Jesse. I was remiss and ill, so I did not get to attend Sea Perch, one of the first years I have not been there. It is always an exciting day. It is full of students, and you just get to see the creativity and brilliance. Again, I'm excited because we have air, land, and sea robotics. And I want to give a special shout out to Fred Lynn. This is the first year that they, to my knowledge, they competed in Sea Perch. I also want to give a special shout out to Coach Patterson, who more than myself, I feel like I'm just holding up a shadow in the room sometimes compared to Coach Patterson for coaching VEX, IQ, and Sea Perch in multiple teams. And that is an accomplishment. Also, just shout out to all of those parents, students, teachers, everyone involved in the VEX season so far up into states, and for hosting it at Woodbridge. I was really sad I didn't get a chance to go, but germs went out. And I look forward to the IQ competition on Saturday at Godwin, at Grand Park, nope, Scoop Grand Park. I always want to get it mixed up, but it's at Grand Park. So for those who are not familiar, that is robotics for some of our special needs students. It'll be our first IQ competition, so I'm very, very excited. Come check us out. I also went with Mr. Blake down to Richmond to lobby. We met with several of our legislators, discussed everything on the docket and how we could effectively advocate for our aligned strategic and legislative priorities. I highly encourage everyone to reach out to their representatives. This year was a busy General Assembly session. Some were harder to get hold of than others, but everyone has a different perspective on legislation. So it's really good if you have the opportunity to go and meet with your legislators, even when they're not in session. Also, it is SOL season, prep season for a lot of our students, and I know my middle schooler is doing virtual afternoon programming and Saturday Academy. There are lots of opportunities. We've heard tonight about varsity tutoring, study groups. I always tell students to try to practice an environment similar, or as similar as possible to where you'll be taking a test, and try to take a couple deep breaths if you have test anxiety, get a good night's sleep, and just always remember to do your best. And also for our parents and guardians who are helping those students, good advice too is to let them breathe and encourage and support them. Last but not least, it is Women's History Month. And so I just want to take an opportunity to recognize all women, whether you're a reproductive woman or not. How you define yourself as a woman is up to you, and it is something that I will always honor and respect. We all don't have the same definitions for our words, and hopefully one day we can get on the same page for our definitions. But until then, all of us should be respected and celebrated for who we are and who we say that we are. It is important for our own mental health, for our students, our families, and our teaching staff. And I guess that wasn't the last thing. I do want to end with my 49 seconds. I just want to have a moment of silence. I know Mr. Blake talked about our student who passed away who's a Freedom graduate, but Freedom High School has had quite a bit of ups and downs, and I just want to take a moment to honor them for continuing to be an amazing school community and for everything that they've been through in a short period of time. Mr. Boone's death was an impact and a tragedy to our community, not only at Freedom, but up and down the Route 1 corridor, because all of our students interact. But there was also another loss at that school, so I just want to take a moment, if we could, and just recognize them. Thank you.
Ms. Wall.
Hello, everybody. It's been a very busy month. Since we met 2 weeks ago, I have attended a number of events. First was a county-sponsored anti-trafficking symposium where I was able to meet our 2 anti-trafficking specialists and talk a little bit with them about this very important challenge in our communities. I also attended the Unity Braxton Orchestra Pyramid concert. That was a ton of fun, and the kids were great. A number of my elementary schools feed into Unity Braxton, so I was able to cheer lots and lots of kids on. Bull Run had their 2nd annual multicultural night, and that was a really great success. The families came out and really enjoyed, required a lot of volunteers from the community. I want to thank all the volunteers who come out every time for the schools. I attended the first robotics competition at Hayfield Secondary, where I got to talk with Supernova, Comet, and Metal Jackets, who are our 3 FRC teams, and see their amazing robots in action. And that's the first I've seen of the new game for this year. It was crazy and very, very fun. The Prince William Manassas Regional Science and Engineering Fair was also something I attended, and it was really great to see and talk with the students about their projects. That's the first year I've done that. And usually I just go to the award ceremony, but it was really fun to talk with the kids and hear their great ideas, see their research. I attended the Virginia VEX State Championship for middle schools, and that was also a lot of fun. And we had a lot of teams there. The Prince William Regional Spelling Bee with Mr. Blake, that was amazing. We had a bunch of little kids up there on that stage competing with 7th and 8th graders, and I was amazed at how great they're. So our literacy efforts are working if you have a 1st grader in a regional spelling bee. It was fantastic. And congratulations to CSM Path, who was a Reagan middle schooler who was the winner. I attended the parent engagement online safety presentation just to see what that would be like, and it was amazing. It was excellent. Shout out to the parent engagement series people for getting NCMEC professionals on there, and I just thought it was right on target. It was excellent. And then I attended the underwater sea perch challenge competition at the aquatic center and loved visiting with the students about their robots. And let's see. I attend these events as part of my commitment to governance. What is governance, you may ask? Governance is helping set direction, establish policies, and ensure accountability for our school system, as well as staying informed on our initiatives and activities while leaving the day-to-day operations to the superintendent and staff. And I can report, superintendent and staff, they're doing great on the day-to-day activities, as far as I can tell. Just as importantly, these events give me a chance to connect with families and students and see firsthand the incredible things that our students are doing. I want to highlight that March is designated nationwide to highlight the importance of music education in schools, and here in PWCS this month is especially meant to celebrate music programs, concerts, and student musicians. And so, a shout out to all our music, theater, and fine art educators across the division, and thank you for your dedication to your students. I'm looking forward to some upcoming theater performances from around PWCS. I hear Colgan is going to do Phantom of the Opera, and I am dying to see it. Gainesville High School, This Murder Was Staged. Cedar Point, Frozen Jr. Patriots doing Camelot, very fun retro play. Battlefield is doing The Little Mermaid. Bull Run, Shrek Jr., Reagan, SpongeBob musical, and Mountain View, Seussical Kids. So, I am looking forward to all of these things. What I continue to hear from families is clear. You want excellent teachers, safe and supportive school environments, and meaningful opportunities for your children to grow and explore their interests, both in the classroom and through sports and extracurriculars. That's why I'm very happy to support the addition of girls wrestling, girls flag football, and boys volleyball that we added into our budget this year. None of these things happen without the dedication of parents, teachers, and families, coaches, and school leaders. And thank you to everyone who shows up every day for our students. I look forward to seeing many of you at upcoming events, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve as your representative on the Prince William County School Board. Thank you.
Ms. Zargarpur.
Thank you, Dr. Lateef. I'll make this quick. We just had a great presentation about where our kids are in terms of attendance and their scoring on vowels and things like that. And we've also heard about our students who are excelling academically. We honored many of them tonight. And as Mr. Blake mentioned, Osborne Park Girls Basketball won their second back-to-back, or second state championship. So they won last year and they won this year in the VHSL Class 6 competition. So very proud of them. And we also have our social worker honored as Social Worker of the Year from Benton Middle School, Christina Devers. And I believe we have some more exciting things coming up. Ms. Wall mentioned all of the musicals and things that are coming up. My niece is in Phantom of the Opera, so we should go together that night. So in looking at all of this excellence that is just coming through our boardroom, or we hear about in the news, or we go to see these performances, I'd like to remind everybody that it's always about the hard work and the dedication of the people wanting to do these things, and the people behind them, their parents, their teachers, other adults in their lives who are supporting them. And I'm going to leave you with this quote by Colin Powell. "There are no secrets to success. It is the result of preparation, hard work, and learning from failure." So as we come into the SOL season, just keep your preparations, and every time you don't meet the mark, learn from that experience. I bid everyone a good evening.
Mr. Wilk.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to highlight some of the events I went to the last 2 weeks. The Pyramid concerts are amazing. It's a great showcase of the talents of our fine arts programs, which our strategic plan emphasizes the expansion of. I went to Forest Park, which had a number of my elementary schools and middle schools, all part of it for their choir concert. So it was great to see the numbers slowly increasing in the choral programs since COVID occurred. I went to the Regional Science Fair hosted here at the Kelly Leadership Building. I saw Ms. Wall, Ms. Zagapur, so enjoyed walking around there. Fascinating projects. It was beyond me. I also, for the first time, worked at a book fair. That was fun. I ran Register 3 at Covington Harper, so that was great. Brought back working at a grocery store in college. But what's crazy is no one pays in cash anymore. And when they did pay in cash, I was completely thrown off. It's just card, tap, tap, tap. No checks, though. No checks. Montclair had a spring choral concert. I love making my rounds. This year I've done more than I've ever done before, speaking to Boy Scout troops. And this past week was no exception. I spoke with my fourth Boy Scout troop, 43. I love them because they're all very different. The format is very different. The questions from the kids are very different. And I love talking about local government, and I like talking about what the school board does. Boys varsity soccer, that was last night. Any of you that went out last night, it was absolutely freezing. But I brought my son and his buddy, who both play travel soccer, to watch the boys varsity game at Forest Park High School. Now to be a little more morose with the topics, but I want to mention on Sunday I did attend Potomac Shores Vigil for Mr. Boone that was referenced there, a tragedy that befell on the community with the shootings at the basketball court. 4 others were injured, but as we know, Mr. Boone, an 18-year-old freshman at Norfolk State, lost his life while home on spring break. Absolute tragedy. The other, a personal friend of mine, but a monumental figure in Prince William County, the executive director of the Prince William County ARC for nearly 60 years, Karen Smith, was a trailblazer in this community. Like I said, serving nearly 60 years, starting off as a building principal and expanding to programs and resources all over for the intellectually disabled community, for those people who are listening, who are still awake listening and watching this. The ARC of Greater Prince William is a program or an organization, that serves the disabled community, and including children and other individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Karen passed away on March 9th. My personal connection with Karen is I also, with all my free time, I serve on the county at-large member for our County Disabilities Committee for the Board of County Supervisors, and Karen was the chair of that committee. And phenomenal, passionate, genuine, just a caring individual. My last memory will be the meeting. She is a champ, very tough, trying to get out of her car. It was cold, it was wet, and then she set up her wheelchair. I wheeled her in, and we had our meeting. But I think that fortitude and that determination and advocacy really benefited children in the community, like my own son, who attended the ARC a couple summers ago. Again, I know I'm over, but phenomenal person, and she will be missed in our greater community.
Mr. Jesse.
Yeah. Karen Smith, also my wife, knows her very well. I think when my wife first got here, she worked with or for Karen Smith, and she is a person that's going to be lost. I'm looking for a photo that's going to be put up by the staff. This week, there it is. This is over at West Ridge Elementary School. I have 10 elementary schools in my district. They have the highest SOL scores of the 10 schools. The teachers here, and I'm sure I'm going to mispronounce the names, but the first one on the left there with the hat on, or the little thing on her head, is Nicole Harver. She's a fourth grade teacher, and she got 100% in the SOL for math. The next person is Meredith Amos. She's a fourth grade teacher, and she got 100% in Virginia Studies and Reading. The next lady there is Lily Jesse, my wife. This is the first time I've been able to take her out with me, and that. The person behind her is Kenny Bodie, our County Board of Supervisor. The next person is Alicia Johnston. She's a fifth grade teacher, 100% in math and 100% in reading. And then the next person is Nadine Barr. Can you put the pictures back up, please? Barr, she's a fifth grade math teacher. And then Katie Riez is a fifth grade math and reading teacher with 100%. So there are schools already that have met probably the goals of 85%, and we just need to get more of them. The principal there is Stephen Wilson. I think they've been at the school for 2 years. He came down, I think, from Fairfax County. And as you see, I'm not a creative person, but I'm smart enough to know when some people like something. So these are little debutante cups that I gave all the teachers and the principal for having the best scores in Occoquan District. And so I like to do stuff like that. And I think we're meeting the goals and want to have more of my schools meet the goals so we can get to the 85%. Other than that, again, I'm still somewhat limited how much I can get out and get to some of the events, and hope to do more in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jesse. Thank you to the board. We've just approved, so I've been part of this in my 9th budget the school system has approved. My 9th time doing this, and continues to get more exciting every time we do it. You heard a lot about all the great things in this year's budget. We hope to present this budget to the Board of County Supervisors at the end of the month, or at the beginning of next month, and we'll take it from there. I want to thank the board, Dr. McDade, her staff, for all the hard work on all of this. I want to wish my condolences to the young man who passed away in the Potomac and Woodbridge District, one of our former students. Gun violence has no place in our communities, and we really should work as hard as we can to, stamp that all out if we can. Thank all the local law enforcement for all the work they're doing on trying to sort out everything that happened that evening. Anyways, I want to, at this point, I don't have a whole lot other to say than to just say, we are in third quarter now, right? We're in third quarter, Doc? Yeah, we're in third quarter, and pushing our students to keep doing what they're doing. The to-be seniors, the juniors, should start planning on college applications and thinking about all of that stuff now. Our seniors, I wish you all the best as you continue to hear what colleges and programs you're going to be getting into and participating in next year. We wish you all the best. Have a great week. Thank you.